Good morning. I never know if that thing is recording at 0 or if it actually absolutely waits till 1. So, it's Tuesday, the 12th, I think. Maybe. Yeah, the 12th. I know I said I was going to start doing this symptom list a week and a half ago. Well, I didn't, obviously. Sorry. I, I don't know why. For one thing, you have to be in the right frame of mind for this because it's not that it's hard, it's just a lot of recalling. And if you're tired, the last thing you want to do is try to go over something like this. I know we've all been there. We just, when you're tired, you just don't want to do certain things. So anyway, I want to explain too why I have these readers instead of wearing glasses. I'm about to go get my third pair of glasses in 5 years. My eyes change a lot. I'm sorry, I know there's a lot of glare. I think my eyes are drooping a little bit, it looks like. The first pair that I got was, let's see, 5 years. 5 years ago. In 2 weeks, my eyes changed drastically. And which part of that is normal aging, and I just happened to catch that at the wrong time, plus the MG. And the second pair was the same thing. But I didn't realize, not that I didn't realize, I just didn't know what was going on with my eyes. And neither did the doctor. We just assumed my eyes were aging faster than, normal. Well, then this past year, I went back for just a regular exam, and he said, you have had a considerable amount of sight loss. And at that time, I think I was diagnosed at that time, but I can't swear to it. But anyway, we knew that I had something at least. So anyway, that's why I'm wearing readers. And I know readers are not a good thing for your eyes. Unless, if you're not doing a lot of reading, it's okay. Because your eyes are muscles. And when you use readers and you're reading something that's straining them, to a degree, and then you take them off for your regular sight, and it's just that fluctuation so much. And but it is better than not having the readers, and you're really, really straining your eyes. So anyway, just content with these. I mean, y'all know, a lot of y'all know that glasses are so expensive. Probably on average, insurance pays $100 on frames, my insurance, and then the remainder, and so that's at least $200 more. So at least, but then I have to figure out, find out about my bifocals and all that. So anyway, I just wanted to explain why I'm wearing readers instead of prescriptions. I can't keep going back and getting prescription after prescription after prescription. honestly, I would be getting a pair every year, and that doesn't make sense. Which insurance pays every 2 years for you to get a new pair of glasses. So if you go and get a new pair of glasses every year, then you're paying out of pocket. So anyway, didn't mean to get into that mumbo jumbo, but that is a big thing. You know, if you need glasses, go get glasses. Don't be jihading with readers. Just go get glasses. It's better for your eyes. It's, and it's just a smarter choice, in my opinion, because I hate these readers. I hate them. But I'm having to wait a little bit. So, anyway, with these symptoms, my first symptom in my hands, that was a main thing that I really noticed. My hands would get weak. They would get tired. I should have looked this up because I cannot ever remember the name of this bone right here. But this bone, this joint, this part of the finger has no grip strength now. I can grip to a degree, not always, but this part, just this, has there's no strength there. I'm not even going to try to explain. I can't think of anything right now, but in the beginning, when I noticed, the one thing that sticks out in my mind is trying to break a box down. I couldn't do it. I couldn't grab it. It's like I would grab it and my hand would just slide right back off. I couldn't. There was nothing. And you can't grab something like a box and break it down when you can't get your hand under it. You're having to loosen the glue. Well, you can't do that if you cannot use the tips of your fingers. And that was a big deal. I knew, that wasn't right, but I kind of contributed it more to aging, normal weakness, kind of thing. And I have my list, so that's why I keep flicking down, because I have to make a list because my brain's fried. I forget things. I would hit things. Oh my gosh. It would drive me crazy. I would hit things because I'm a big hand talker. I should just start speaking the sign language. I would hit everything, and everything that was always there. I knew it was there. I knew how close it was. But then all of a sudden, I was hitting the things that were there. It's like all of a sudden I had no depth perception, no accountability for the things that were right literally a foot to 2 feet in front of me. And that's also depth perception. Losing that is also normal as you age. So there again, I contributed it to that. You don't know. I knew the grippers didn't seem quite normal, but it's still just, the wheel turns, but then you think, well, blah, blah, blah. And you don't put much thought to it. So anyway, that was a big thing. And also, coins. I've got coins wrote down here. I remember, now I don't know how far back this goes, but they do say that, the MG will top out a few years. Now, anybody can correct me on any of this because I read different things. That the symptoms get to like a cap a few years after diagnosis. And so, I don't know. They don't specify a few years. I don't really know. My symptoms now have been going since 2011. That's when the hands started. My tired really, really started. But little things like picking up coins. I've always kind of collected coins, and I have a hard time picking them up. Just trying to pick them up with the tips of my fingers. That's been going on for many years. That may not even be related back then to this. I don't know. I don't want to say right or wrong. I'm not sure. But my hands also would get hot. I haven't looked this up because I kind of forgot about it because it's not happened in a long time now. I don't know why they would get hot. They would just get hot. And literally, I would be fanning my hands. It looked like I was fanning my face, I guess, but I was fanning my hands because they would get really, really, really hot feeling. And I don't know what to... I know that had to be something about the nerves. But other than that, I don't know, because I forgot to look that up because I just haven't had it happen in a long time, so I forgot. Heart. One time, it was about 2011, I was at work, and I was diagnosed with mitral valve prolapse. My throat's getting tired. I don't normally talk this much. In 2018, I was diagnosed with mitral valve prolapse, which is on average, a minor heart condition. But in 2000, let's see, I was 18 at that time when I was diagnosed. So I don't know what year that was. But in 2011, I had this heart spasm, angina kind of thing. So now these two things, hands, heart, were at the same time. But the heart thing didn't come back for probably 6 years, 5 years, something. And it was just like a weird sensation, odd sensation, just tightening. Breathing was off. It wasn't like I felt like I was going to have a heart attack, but I kept thinking, well, if I don't go to the hospital, then I might could have a heart attack. I don't know. I didn't know what I was looking at there, and I wanted to contribute it to the mitral valve prolapse, but I kind of felt like it wasn't anyway, so I wasn't sure. But anyway, I went to the hospital. They couldn't find anything. So that is, when you're dealing with neurological, neuromuscular, autoimmune, when you're dealing with things like that, that is going to be the diagnosis. Can't find anything. That is a big deal. I hope y'all can't smell my coffee breath. Just kidding. That is a main... What you hear, that's what you hear. I can't find anything. Tests are normal. Blood tests are normal. So anyway, I'm not going to jump that far ahead because we weren't looking for anything. We just thought it was the heart spasms were a fluke thing. And I did take nitro. They gave me nitro at the hospital, and it stopped. So that that's a good indicator, that it wasn't heart attack related, stroke related, plaque related. It wasn't anything to do with blocked arteries or anything. The nitro stopped it. So, and no, I'm not going to go that far right now. So anyway, it was not mitral valve related. I have since outgrown that apparently because my doctors can't find it. They never do hear it anymore, so I must have outgrown it, they said. Okay, and the third one is fatigue. Tired. That's my word. That is my word. I am tired all the time. I can't explain it. I'm not going to try to explain the tired right now that I have, because it's not quite the same as it was back then. Back then, I was always tired. That's true to now, but it's still different. You come in from work, you're exhausted, you're just blah. Well, then you go to the table and you're trying to talk to somebody on the phone, or you've got company on the weekends, or you're trying to eat or trying to study. I remember I was in 2006, I was in school and studying. Some of this I do kind of relate to going back that far. So I don't know. But I would be studying, not even for a test, just sitting there doing my homework and stuff, and I would just get closer and closer and closer to the table until literally I was laying on the table. I was just so tired. And it's not just a tired that, you go to sleep and you wake up and you feel better. Well, just a little while later, you're tired again. And that was just, I would go outside, and I love being outside. I've always loved being outside. And, I'd go outside and I'd walk around and go to the garden and work some, and I would just get weak, lightheaded, nauseous. And this was years ago. This was even in the 90s. So I don't know what to relate to what. I don't know how any of that works. They say it caps, after a few years, but what was causing it then? And it could have just been me, just being a little weaker than the average person. I don't know. But the problem with that kind of tired is that it affects your relationships. My relationship with my son, he said, "Mom, you always say that." And it wasn't an exaggeration, and I didn't realize I was saying it that often either. He said, no, he said, "That's all you ever say. I'm tired." And, looking back now, I did say that because it was the truth. I wasn't exaggerating. I was really tired. And, excuse me, my throat's getting tired. So, Sorry, I'm trying to get it to stop, but it probably won't. It's muscles that you use, same as with your eyes. My eye, I don't know if you can see. Oh Lord, I can't see anything now. My eye, my right eye will start drooping a little bit as I go throughout the day. Things just get tired. That is a major symptom of myasthenia gravis, the drooping eye, drooping eyes. It could be one or two. Mine is just one most all the time. On occasion, I'll have both, but it's the same thing with the throat muscles. You can hear it now. Gosh. Sorry, I don't mean to do that. It just feels like you need to clear your throat. But even if you clear your throat, you're making it worse. And you would think, after dealing with that for basically 2 years now, I would know that. But it's just the way it feels. It feels like there's something in there. Like you ate a brown cow or a fudgesicle or something. It feels like there's lingering ice cream in there. And it feels like you've got to clear your throat, and that's exactly what it feels like, but it's not there. There's nothing there. It's just the muscles reacting. So anyway, I know this is a little bit long. And I do have a habit of rambling. But I put in here also that I went to the doctor January 2011. It could have been 2012. I called this particular doctor's office to see if they had anything in the computer. I knew they didn't, because generally after 7 years, they will pull your file. They'll hold on to it for a little bit. Maybe I think they're obligated to hold on to it for 7 years. But they didn't have my record. I mean, they didn't have anything in the computer, and I didn't want to ask them to go get the file just to see what the last date I was there. It was 2011 or 12. And it was in January, so I'm almost thinking it was 2012. But, and that was all related to this. I remember telling him specifically that I would pick things up with my hands and drop it. It would just drop. And I would, excuse me, I've had coffee and now I'm, let's see. That really bothered me, because I knew something was wrong with that aspect of my hands, because I would pick like a piece of paper up, tiny, tiny piece of paper. I'm going to kind of try to show you here without taking this out of the book. But, okay. When you grasp a piece of paper here, I'm trying not to make it too blurry or anything. You use this part, these tiny little joints there on the end, that part of the finger you use to grasp anything. Well, those don't work anymore. That happened very fast, almost before anything with me, but I didn't know it fully. I didn't know. I would pick up a piece of paper just like this, and it would fall. And try this yourself. Grab just a piece of paper, thin piece of, just school paper, and grab it. These tiny, tiny, tiny little things you don't ever think about. You have no reason to think about it, because your brain tells, your nerves, tells your muscles to do this, this, and this. Well, when you don't have that communication in your muscles, things don't work properly. They're not going to work. I don't know. It's like if you could hotwire a car and tell it what to do, drive me down the road, blah, blah. Oh, it's just so frustrating because this year's been the hardest with my hands because my whole hands are getting a lot weaker now. But seriously, do try this. Just grab you a piece of paper. See, I can grab when I'm forcefully telling myself to grab it. But if I pick it up like this, my fingers aren't holding. They're not holding. I've got it crammed in there with my thumb. But take notice of that. Really do try that. Just grab a piece of paper. See how you're holding it. The tips of your fingers. My fingers are so weird now. Because I don't feel much with them. And when I'm hand sewing, oh, I feel that. But to pick something up, I have to watch myself pick it up to know that I have actually got a good hold of it, because I have picked numerous things up and immediately drop it right back down because these appendages do not work very well. But anyway, sorry, I ramble so much. Hands. Now, Myasthenia gravis is what they call snowflake disease. It's different with everybody, from me to you, to her, to him, at this age, that age. One of our friends, my mom's friend and I, her very first symptom was her arms would get tired in the shower, just trying to wash her hair. Well, that just recently started with me. Mine was my hands. By the way, she was diagnosed straight away with that. So, see, it's so different from one person to the next. It's she was diagnosed straight away. They knew. I don't know how her exact process went. If she would want to add to this at any point in time, I'll see if I can get a message to her. I think hers was very easily diagnosed. I don't want to say that. I don't want to say anything wrong there, Teresa, just in case. But mine has taken years. 7 years? 8 years? I finally got diagnosed this past May. And it's just taken so long. But it's okay. I got it. And I knew I had it. I knew I had something. I didn't know I had that. I did know I had a pretty good chance of having that right before I was diagnosed. I did a lot of searching over 6 years at that time. What else do you have? Had a lot of time. So, but that's those 3 diagnoses with me. Symptoms, not diagnoses. I don't want 3 diagnoses. But my 3 symptoms, it can be different with anybody. And that is, the heart thing I'm still not positive about. But somebody else, it could be their foot. But anyway, their leg, whatever. It's just different. But anyway, I wanted to get that over to you. Maybe that would help somebody with something. It may not. But I'm just wanting to start my process in adding to this the best I can to maybe help somebody out, because golly molly, it took so long. A lot of heartache getting to this point. It's a lot easier now. I mean, physically, no, it's not. Mentally, yes, it is in a way, half and half, I think, because my body's gotten harder to deal with. But it's helped me now to have a diagnosis, which I think anybody knows that. Everybody, when you've got something wrong, a diagnosis is always going to help. So, rambling over. Go enjoy some coffee. Enjoy your day at work, whatever. Be grateful for your job, or grateful that you have to sit inside 4 walls. Either way, love you very much. Questions, you can PM me or just comment below. All right, love y'all. Bye.